This video is about how we prepare Seascape for our sailing season up East Africa. We show you the areas where we have had problems with and how we've managed to repair them or overcome these issues.
Okay, so we had a problem with our outboard in that the telltale wasn't squirting out, and it seemed as though the motor was overheating at times. We dropped the leg and opened it up and checked the impeller, and the impeller was a little bit burnt because I think at some point when we were in Yorka, the inflow got blocked with weed or packet or something. It must have burnt the impeller. But it was only a little bit. We changed the impeller and then it was working fine. So you'd run it, and while it was idling, it would push out quite nicely. After about 20-30 seconds at higher revs, it would stop. And I couldn't figure out what the hell that was. So I took it to an outboard mechanic here in Richards Bay, and we dropped the leg, we opened it up, and then strangely enough, he said, no, there's a gasket here. On the casing that covers the impeller, there's a gasket here that shouldn't be here. I'm going, yeah, right, it shouldn't be there. These people make the motors, they know where the gaskets are. And long story short, because I was running out of options, I didn't know what the problem was. He took that gasket off, sealed it all up, and it's working like a charm. Redesigned the motor, took the gasket out. Yeah, so she's running fine, and that's a problem I don't have anymore. I'll show you how well she is. I will show you how well she is running. Watch this. Watch this one pull. Oh.
No.
One pull. Did I say one pull?
Yes.
One pull. One pull. So we've been having some problems with our autopilot system. And the frustrating thing is the problems come and go. So it works sometimes, it doesn't work sometimes. Instead of going to standby on the pilot head, it says no pilot. And when I checked the Raymarine manual for that, it says that problem is communication from the course computer to the pilot head. Well, first of all, we went through a whole bunch of things. We checked the cabling, that seemed fine. Checked all the connections, that seemed fine. There was enough voltage going through to the course computer. So it was like a process of elimination, just sort of like going through the steps. So it's been really frustrating, hey? And trying to figure out exactly what the problem was. But this went back and forth. It's probably over 4 months or so. I mean, we sailed all the way to Yorka Island and it was fine. Sailed all the way back in some pretty challenging conditions. And the next time I switched it on, no pilot. Fortunately, Raymarine in Cape Town put me in contact with one of the technicians down there, and a guy by the name of Carl had a second-hand course computer, a more recent model than our one, a second-hand one that was in good condition, was working fine. So we managed to get that, and we had it shipped up from Cape Town. S3G smart pilot. Hopefully this one works. Okay, so here's our old course computer, the one that's been giving us trouble, or we hope that's the problem. Here's our linear drive that's been serviced, been reconnected. I still need to tidy up the wires. And then there's the arm going to the quadrant. And here is our rudder indicator. So we're going to remove this pilot and replace it with the new ones. And we need to do all these cables down here. Okay, so I've just got to disconnect all of these wires so we can remove it.
New box is going in. Old pumps, it works.
installed. It's connected, but I haven't tied the wires away and done all the tidying up, so I just want to see if it works first. Okay, Moya.
And
no pilot. Stand by.
stand by.
Stand by. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Yeah, the two big things. Tender's been sorted out now, the outboard's working. And now the course computer's fixed. Oh, I've got no idea what a relief it is, eh? Now the rest is just small tidy up stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah. This is the fun part, you know? Getting all the small stuff sorted out and yeah, no stress. Cool.
We've all just recovered from COVID, which means we haven't been out sailing for about 3 weeks. So this afternoon we're going to go out into the harbour, hoist the sails, get some air in her, get some wind in our sails, and also to test our new course computer. Make sure that it's all working, auto helm's going well. I mean, it works when we're here on the mooring, but the true test is when we're out there sailing. So that's what we're going to do this afternoon. I just want to go further. It's too shallow. Pull up the slack. Hold, hold, hold.
I'm getting there. Why is it? On shackles.
Okay.
This way. Right, this way. Right, this way, this way.
Okay.
Is that enough?
I think so.
How's it working so far?
So far so good, eh?
Yeah.
Working fine. I don't want to jinx it, but so far so good. Touch wood. So, yeah.
And the motor?
And the
Got you some auto helm
is
motor.
working, yeah, we had it serviced, but still quite noisy. But the technician says it's good, there's nothing wrong with it. Just clean it up, tidy it up. It says it's hundreds. So, yeah, all good.
Yeah, that's all I can do.
Okay, it's over.
Over.
We're just testing the Windless because Robin serviced it the other day. So we're making sure it all works alright. Sounds alright. 10? Yep.
Genoa.
I think you should swim ashore. It's a lovely day.
Yeah.
Okay, so the anchor
It's probably sharks.
seems to be okay.
Anchor's always been fine.
Okay, well the Windless.
The Windless is working fine, yeah. It's after service. So we're checking them off, eh? Autopilot seems to be sorted out, performing nicely. Windless after servicing and taking it apart and losing certain very important parts. The key, yeah. So that's all back together and working nicely, and yeah, checking the stuff off the list.
He doesn't like the tail.
And now it's
Tanzania, here we come.
yeah.
now I'm going to drink a cold beer. I'm going to celebrate again.
We're not a bad spot for an anchorage.
I tell you, I've anchored in worse places than this. I feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. Lovely deserted beach. Just before we went sailing, I got a hold of my GP and said to him, listen, we're going sailing, we're going to be in some remote places and I'm going to need a comprehensive medical aid kit. He was very accommodating and he gave me a script for a comprehensive first aid kit and medical kit, which has served us well over the last couple of years, but a lot of the medicines and stuff now are expiring. And we're about to go on a long trip up East Africa, so it's time to review the list, review what we used, what we didn't use, what we think we need, what we don't need, or we think we don't need, and then update with updated medicines. The opening kit was pretty good. You know, we had bomb bandages, crate bandages, plaster, Hyperflex, which is a waterproof dressing, hypodermic needle, local anesthetic, suture material, so we could do our own suturing. If you look back on one of our episodes, you'll see I actually put 4 stitches in my toe using this equipment here. So it's really paid for itself. It's come in handy. Yeah, I would highly recommend anybody going sailing on extended trips, and especially if you're in remote areas, to get this kind of equipment. Aside from helping you out when you really need it, it also gives you peace of mind that you've got the stuff to deal with it. And then we've got a whole bunch of medicines. I'm not going to go into the detail of it because it's quite extensive, but we've got painkillers like Miprodol, still pain, Panama, suppositories, antibiotics. We've got a upper respiratory tract antibiotic, Oralox, doxycycline, which is a broad spectrum antibiotic. And we've used these. They've actually come in handy. Got anti-inflammatories. When I surf a lot, my back gets sore. We need lots of anti-inflammatories. And we use myelin diclofenac, which is actually very cheap and works well. It's really good anti-inflammatory. I like those. Eye infections, we're using Tobarex and also Allergex. So ears, nose and throat, we kind of pretty much got that covered. Diarrhea, big one for when you're traveling in Africa. We've got a suspension and we've got tablets. In this particular case, using Cantralex. You know, for allergies, again, you know, allergic reactions to certain items or certain things. It could be blue bottles, could be, anything. We've got celestamine tablets and syrup. The syrup is more a pediatrician thing, so it's more for Moya. Antihistamines are very important. Sinutabs for nasal decongestion. If you want to go diving, free diving, spearfishing, got a bit of a snotty nose, Sinutabs always works well for me. And then, when it comes to dealing with traumas or lacerations, betadine is my go-to. Love this stuff. Used it for years. It's always worked well. Anthrazine, very good for insect stings and bites and stuff. Burn shields. It's a dressing to put on burns. We've got a whole bunch of those. Fortunately, we haven't had to use them, and I hope we don't get to use them. Severe burns are not nice at all. We've got most conditions covered in that lot, and for me now it's to go through the list, what we've used, what we haven't used, what we need, what's expired, what hasn't expired, and then to work out what it is we want, and then hopefully I can send that down to my good GP, Dr. Peter, and he'll send me a script for this, and we can top up and get ready for East Africa.
So what have you got there?
Christmas presents. Got everything that was on the script.
Yeah.
And medical aid paid for it all, so that's good.
Oh, fantastic.
That's all the goodies.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we serviced our Windless, given it a good clean, taken it apart, greased it. So that's good, and then we've also taken it out and we've tested it, so it's working great, and so that's all good. We're happy with that. The other day we took the chain, the whole anchor chain, and laid it out here on the dock, and did a chain link inspection. So we've checked all the links are good, there's no real rust, a little bit of surface corrosion, no real rust. So that's been done. And then what we're going to do now quickly is just going to check the shackles, that they're good, they're not corroded, and that the wire attachments that hold the pin closed, that they're all intact and in place. We've got two shackles here. We've got a swivel shackle here. Okay, it's a good sturdy stainless steel thick guy. Served us well over the years. So he looks good. I've sprayed it with Q20 as well, and our little locking wires are intact on both sides. Cable tie there as well. And then our main shackle that attaches that to the anchor is looking good. It's nice and tight, and our wire there is also in place with a cable tie. So I'm happy with this. This is all good. The chain is good. Windless is good. So yeah, ground tackle, anchoring tackle, we're happy with that. Okay, the other thing we want to do is check our halyards, the Genoa halyard and the Spinnaker halyard. We want to check that the lines are good, there's no chafing on the lines. We want to check that the shackles are attached properly, that the knots that are used for the shackles are intact and they are all good. And then of course that the shackles are in good condition and that the pins are tight and the locking wires are all in place and good. So that's the next thing we do. We've got a nice still morning this morning, there's not much wind, so perfect opportunity to drop the Genoa, unfurl the Genoa. That's the first thing we've got to do, is unfurl it right out, and then drop the Genoa, and then we can do the inspection of the halyard and the shackles, etc. We sometimes get some chafe at the top of the Genoa as it goes around the roller at the very top of the mast, so that's the main thing that I'm going to check for. Okay, let's do it.
Okay, it's easier for me to do this one.
This knot that we're using here has let us down a few times, so I'm going to change it.
What knot are you using?
I think I'll just do a bowline. That shackle looks good, and then the turning point, there's the kink there. And there's no chafe there, so it's good. And another. And I've got a piece of wire there, and that's good.
Both shackles are right.
Those shackles are good. They've both got locks on. Good.
Okay.
Just hoist it back up now.
Okay. So I'm going to make sure that it gets into this groove as we're going up. Wait. Bring it down. Okay. Let's go slowly, Robin.
Tiring, man. Can you imagine doing this in a wind? Right? It'd be easy.
Almost there.
Okay, can we check the spinnaker halyard? I've already loosened it. Okay, that's what I was worried about.
It's fine.
Okay,
It's fine.
is it?
Yeah. I understand the strength of this line is in the core.
Yeah.
This is just a covering. That's fine. That's fine.
And then here, what's this? Oh, that's okay. It's a bit weak.
I think that's fine.
Is that alright?
Yeah.
Okay, you happy?
We're done with our chores for the day.
Right now it's time for breakfast.
Well done.
Fried eggs and bacon and tomato.